guys, welcome back to Nintendo Minute. We are very excited to be here today with Mr. Nagami and Ethan, and we're going to talk a little bit about Splatoon 2, which is coming out on July 21st.
Yes.
And what's really exciting, tell the people.
We are actually kicking off a full month of Splatoon 2 videos right here with this. And since we have Mr. Nagami, who is the game's producer, we thought it would be a great time to delve a little bit deeper and maybe find out some things that people might not know about the game.
Yeah, so we prepared 5 things you may not know about Splatoon 2, and we're going to dig into them now. Swim into them now?
Let's do it.
Dive into the ink with them now? I'll stop. The first one we wanted to talk about was one of the new modes in the game is called Salmon Run, and it's super, super fun. So wanted to see what was sort of the inspiration behind Salmon Run.
So, we really started with Salmon Run thinking, what kind of gameplay do we want to offer? Splatoon, the game itself was really well suited to this idea of being able to play, for example, online at home, and then take that online, your save file, your data with you outside and play with friends who live around you locally, gathered together in person. And that Splatoon as a whole is well suited to that.
And to me, it seems like Salmon Run has a slightly different aesthetic than some of the other game modes. It's kind of grimier. The Inklings are wearing those sort of work outfits. The enemies look kind of scary in some ways. What were the look that they were going for?
So, with these salmon characters that we decided to go with, if you know anything about the way actual salmon behave, this is a species of fish that has these strong inclinations to sort of return back to their spawning grounds or make this rush toward a particular area at different seasons of the year. And so for the online mode of Salmon Run, that's something we're playing, these sort of timed events when the salmon will sort of rise up and people need to band together to fight them back.
Yeah, I really like how in Salmon Run you can change the difficulty level from the lowest difficulty to 100% difficulty. So I'm wondering, we tried playing at 100%. We were defeated in 20 seconds. So has anyone on the development team beat Salmon Run and at 100%?
So, something maybe I'm learning a little bit about too here, but if as you mentioned, you can freely set that difficulty.
Right.
If you set it to 100%, and yes, there are members on the development team who have cleared 100%, if you set it to 100% and are then able to continue clearing 100%, your percentage will go up 5% at a time, all the way up to 200%.
Oh my God.
If you can continue winning, and there are members of the development team who can do 200%.
It's my new life goal.
Wow.
New goal in life. Very fun.
Let's move ahead to our second topic, which would be the story. In the first Splatoon game, people really enjoyed the story. People really latched on to Callie and Marie, and we've been sort of sharing some glimpses of what they've been doing. How did you approach the story for Splatoon 2?
Thanks to the imagination of the fans, wanting to know more about these characters, things we saw people, wondering about online, about their lives that you don't see in the game. We realized this idea of Callie and Marie as pop stars was something fans really enjoyed, and it actually led to 2 concerts being held in Japan and a concert as well in France, and that kind of cemented their role as pop stars. And we kind of continued with that, offering Callie versus Marie in that final Splatfest as a way to sort of acknowledge the fans, what we were seeing from the fans. And we also have done some side things like recently we put out these Squid Sisters stories online to hopefully give fans a little bit more of what they're wanting. Well, and one of the things that we, is our concept for, moving from Splatoon 1 to Splatoon 2 is that time has passed, both in our world and in the game world. And with Squid Sisters stories, I kind of envisioned it as like almost like a gossip column in the newspaper that you would read. So, the expression is, maybe a bit overdone in points, but we wanted to show that these characters didn't just, appear out of Splatoon 1 and then reappear in Splatoon 2, but that, they've changed over that 2-year period as well. So,
very important question is, which one do you like more, Callie or Marie?
So this is actually a pretty difficult, sometimes bitter question for me because I think of both of them as sort of my daughters in a way.
That's sweet.
So it's so difficult to choose. But I will admit that I participated on the side of Callie in the last Splatfest.
Forced to make a choice.
Oh, yes. That's true. It's a forced decision.
Let's move on to our next question. Topic 3.
Topic 3.
I think it was a great segue, actually, from what you were just talking about, how time has passed in the world of Splatoon, because in the first game there was all this great fashion that the Inklings were wearing, and obviously, you've built upon that. What was your approach of keeping things kind of topical with, this time passing in the world of the game?
Well, I think pretty much whatever large city you go to, you're going to have a situation where there'll be areas of town, kids love to get together, where all the kind of hottest shops are. And this was something that we'd observed, I think, ourselves in the real world. And we wanted to take this concept of, those early adopter, really trendy, hip kids, have discovered kind of this new area of town where the newest, cool brands are at, and they've kind of moved the youth culture to that new area. And so, just because we have a bunch of new brands doesn't mean that, the old brands we saw in Splatoon 1 are going to lose. They're going to try and keep up with trends as well. So they, you'll see them being represented in the new Inkopolis Square of Splatoon 2. And, for example, if one particular brand is known for its shiny leather shoes, they may be trying some suede this time around. So, they're trying to follow the trends of these Inkling Squid Kids as well. As with Splatoon 1, our goal in creating this, hub area of Inkopolis Square is, while you're only seeing a small slice of Inkling culture in the game itself, we want to hint at this larger world, this really vibrant lifestyle and culture that they have. And of course, we just want to keep the players happy and give them new items, fresh, new things to wear in the game. And so, we've created a bunch of new gear for people to try on.
And that's what's really unique about the world of Splatoon, is that it does feel very current, and also it's just something that you kind of want to be a part of. Like, you want to be part of the cool kids crowd, and you want to be on top of the latest trends, and it's a world that just feels so just real and kind of fresh that it makes you just want to kind of dive into it a little.
Probably doesn't exist in the game, but I'll be looking out for the Inkling who's maybe trapped in the past and can't quite keep up with the trends, because I think I could relate to that.
スクエアの中で、インカポリススクエアの中で、あんまりトレンド追いついていないインクリングを探します。なるほど。
And I'll just be updating my closet.
You're not a square kid.
All right. So let's move on to our fourth topic here. So what's really cool, obviously, about Splatoon 2 is that it's on Nintendo Switch. And we talked a little bit about how Salmon Run really takes advantage of the ability to play with friends anywhere with Nintendo Switch. But what other sort of elements did you put into Splatoon 2 specifically because now it's on Nintendo Switch?
This is true in Splatoon 2, but raising your Inkling, kind of creating your save data, but really raising up your Inkling was an important part of Splatoon 1. You work on it, you build up their level, acquire a bunch of different gear, and that is going to continue to be important with Splatoon 2. But I love this idea that now you can take that save data, the Inkling you're raising with you, go introduce them to your friends, get together with friends, outside of the house, and kind of group those Inklings up and play together. And one thing we, had to kind of figure out in making Splatoon 2 was how to take a game like Splatoon 1, where you had the gameplay, the multiplayer action happening up on the TV, and then your map was down here on the gamepad. And so we had to try a variety of different things to wrestle both of those concepts into one screen. But we took advantage of things like the gyro sensor and other aspects of the Switch technology that's available, and I think we really came up with a satisfying way to get both of those aspects of the game into one screen in a way that I think players will find natural.
Yeah, I played obviously Splatoon on Wii U, and when I played Splatoon on Nintendo Switch, it definitely felt very natural after playing with the two-screen experience. And
that's a good point. I think this is really not just bringing the Wii U version to Switch or bringing cramming a two-screen experience onto one screen, but we're actually feeling that in a lot of ways we've improved the experience and more streamlined it. And that this is actually the best version of Splatoon we've been able to come up with.
So on to our last topic. You were talking about the game on Wii U and making an online game. I think the thing is you just don't know how fans or the community are going to react to it and how they're going to embrace it or what they're going to do with it. Knowing in hindsight how people did react to the Wii U game, how have you taken that into account for Splatoon 2?
we're so thankful and surprised to see how many people, fell in love with the world of Splatoon. And we made the game up, Splatoon 1, to be easy for people who, may not know each other to just get together and have a good time online. But one thing that surprised us and we were really happy to see was this formation of teams, and people getting together with a specific goal and really wanting to coordinate and then get together and play against other teams. That was a development we hadn't foreseen as much, and we're really pleased with. At this time we have created something called League Battle. The previous game, Splatoon 1, featured squad battles. But in League Battles, it'll be a similar format where teams will get together, form teams, but now they're going to have sort of these limited periods of time to see how far they can take it, how many points they can earn within a limited amount of time, and sort of repeat that process over and over again, compare themselves to other teams. And we're really hoping that those players who enjoy team play will enjoy that. And for that private battle, one thing I'm really hoping people will use to sort of get their play out there, show the world what they can do, we've included this spectator mode that allows someone to go in, take a look at different aspects of a match that's going on, and I'm hoping that people use that as a tool to sort of, like I said, put that play online, share it with the world via streaming, however you want to do it. So and one thing further is that for people who really want to get together and seriously practice and improve their team play, maybe get together for a tournament, we've included the ability to connect 8 Nintendo Switch systems via cable for LAN play, for those the people who are really hardcore. Yeah, and yesterday we had the Splatoon 2 tournament here on the show floor, and we're hoping that that's sort of an example of this play that I'm talking about that will drive the kind of community onward and just kind of encourage everybody to get better.
It was so exciting to watch that tournament yesterday, and very cool to see the spectator mode in swing for those kinds of activities. So it was really cool.
Yeah, and it is a bit tricky to get the hang of using the spectator mode well, but I'm hoping that's something as well people are going to share tips on. So.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Nogami, thank you for joining us and sharing the 5 things that we may not have known. I certainly learned a lot.
I learned a lot. Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you, Ethan, for your wonderful translation.
Always happy.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We are very excited to bring you guys a full month of Splatoon videos, so please look forward to that. And remember,
Nintendo Minute is never a minute.
We will see you next week for more Splatoon 2. Bye!
Bye!